Zdravo svima, OldClassicGamer here, and welcome to a brand new video. We are now here ready for Spyro discussion, and I'm joined by two guest commentators. Introduce yourself, please.
Yo, what's up everyone, it's COOLPRO195 here, and this is the first time in ages that I've been on OCG's channel, so this feels like a very warm welcome back for the first time in 2018. Now, other guest commentator, introduce yourself.
Hey guys, it's RAYFIST'S. I'm here back on OCG's channel again. I think this is actually the first time I've ever actually shown myself on webcam, so hey. And yeah, this is a good reunion. Yeah.
Well, it's the first time for all of us, so yeah.
Yeah. This is the first time all of us like in the same video on the webcam.
Yep. So,
yeah.
It's going down.
So this is new for us. Yeah, shit's going down.
We had a good reason to be here because Spyro is back, and we didn't expect, like, I didn't expect the trailer to be released the day it did. Like, there were teasers and many things, like, remember the egg, how it was, like, sent to IGN?
They sent it to IGN. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the whole Falcon Bob sending the egg to
yeah,
IGN.
What's up with that name?
Plus a note as well, like, what the fuck? Although the name Falcon Bob, like, I was speaking with Victor about it when he was doing his hype live stream for Spyro Reignited Trilogy, and he was saying how it could have been like an inside joke, either because one of the people who are in, I think it's due to an inside joke on the game from one of the characters who are called Bob, who knows. Oh yeah, and also the inside joke for the name Falcon Bob, which Voice Legend was talking about, it was pretty much either based on one of the people who worked for Toys for Bob. I think they were called Bob, I'm not entirely sure what the entire story is, or it's to do with one of the dragon eggs that were hatched in one of the Spyro games that had the name Bob. That's probably where Bob got the name from, and Falcon Bob as well.
Yeah,
I mean, it's interesting how it sort of like connects in terms of names.
I think it connects with both names because the company is called Toys for Bob, so yeah, I think they choose a great opportunity to combine everything regarding what could reference Spyro, and it was a good joke, I think, and the egg was nice. I actually kind of wish I had the same egg like those people were given. I just think it looks cool.
Yeah, it was mine and Victor's point exactly. But yeah, the egg also looks sick.
They should include it as promotional, like something for sale, like a merchandise. You wanna say something, Brandon?
I was just gonna say, I completely forgot there was like one of the eggs you hatch in Year of the Dragon, their name was Bob. So, I guess that works out.
Yeah.
Yeah, it really matches.
I'm happy this is happening, but I really thought with Crash coming out, like, people were just like, like, I was happy at the Insane Trilogy, despite, I think it had a few shortcomings, but I was really excited for the Reignited Trilogy. Like, I mean, we didn't know it was called that at first, but I kind of had a feeling that a new Spyro was going to happen. I was kind of expecting it. Like, were you guys expecting it after the Crash one? Like, did you think there was a chance, or what do you guys think?
I definitely think, I definitely knew, like, I knew when they were doing a Crash that if it sells well, which we all seen already when it was only on PlayStation 4, that it was selling very great, which led to multi-platformer release announcement. And it was only a matter of time when Spyro will be released, because I don't know, you can't have those two separated anymore. Like, Crash and Spyro, even though they were not created by same people, like, from the PlayStation 1 days, they were, like, compared so much, like, these characters, and they were even in a crossover games, and there were a lot of things with both Crash and Spyro, so if they're doing Crash remasters, like, I knew it was a matter of time when they'll do Spyro. Despite him being established in Skylanders universe, that of course doesn't mean that he can't have like his own games, because Skylanders is its own universe. It's not related to original Spyro. It's like some alternative Spyro universe, and they can coexist together. So Skylanders can always be around for younger players, and the newer,
yeah, true,
and the new players like who want something more advanced, and the old fans, of course. They can enjoy the Spyro now again, and in fact, I think despite Skylanders being a series with mixed opinions, I think that Skylanders are gonna do a huge favor to Spyro remasters because now the kids are gonna know who Spyro is, and when they see this game, they're gonna say, "Oh, this is Spyro. We know him from Skylanders."
Or they could say, "Why doesn't Ninja Man get his own video game? Why does why does Spyro get his?" I'm just
yeah, if they even knew Ninja Man.
We definitely can't talk about the trilogy without talking about Skylanders, and you know, Skylanders is its own thing. You know, I think it's a different audience, not a different age group, I don't think, but a different type of audience. For me personally, Skylanders never really did it for me. It's not really like my type of thing. The whole toys to life thing. Yeah, I see you got yours. If you like Skies, like I'm totally cool with it still going on, but you know, I've always been a fan of the classic Spyro formula, and you know, I think the original trilogy, like I still think they're just really, really, for the time, they might have some flaws, but for the time they're very solid platforming games, because you know, like the games that came after that they tried to follow up the classic formula a little bit with was like Enter Dragonfly, which we all know is a piece of shit, and Hero Sail, which was okay, but sometimes some things felt a little off in that game, if you know what I mean. Like it didn't feel like I was playing a Spyro game at times. But that being said, I'm just kind of happy we're getting that classic formula back, and I'd really like to, you know, I know like we're not going to keep getting remasters forever, and you know that's fine and stuff, but I think the reason why I think this is such a good thing is not because nostalgia. I mean, it's a bit of a biased, enjoyable thing. I'm sure we can all do that, but I think what I really like about this is that it's, like you said, it's going to introduce new people to it. And it's going to garner back some of those older fans. So they, you know, like people who like Skylanders are probably going to like this game, and people who don't like Skylanders are probably going to like this game. So it's kind of like
win-win situation.
Yeah, it's bringing in all those people, and I think that's
basically
a good thing. Yeah, so that's what I think about that.
Yeah, it's a win-win for both people who love Spyro and Skylanders. For me personally, Skylanders was a good series, but as its own series. I mean, don't get me wrong, Skylanders did bring Spyro back, like, and Spyro came back faster than Crash, let's not forget that. And plus, I like Skylanders as its own franchise, not for the fact that it eclipsed Spyro, and then it took a spin-off of one franchise and made it its own.
And that's perfectly fine.
It's fine. I mean, that's fine because it works as its own franchise.
Absolutely.
Like, with new Spyro, now finally these franchises can be separated, and if the remasters sell well, I'm pretty sure that we're gonna be getting a new Spyro game, which is like with classic Spyro universe, not like from Skylanders one. So yeah, we're now gonna have both existing together, which is a great idea, and I definitely think it's gonna work out. Now that we talked about this, let's talk about the trailers. So what do you guys think about the trailer announcement?
You want to go first, COOLPRO?
Yeah. Oh, by the way, before we mention about the trailer announcement, you asked a question about, you know, our takes on whether the remasters were gonna happen or not, and I figured I'd get that out of the way first before, so let me get that out of the way before we get onto the trailer.
Yeah, good idea.
So anyways, my take on the whole Spyro Reignited Trilogy announcement was that I was kind of expecting it to happen after Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy got announced because, but the thing is, the likeliness of it happening from the way I was seeing it, based on how long Spyro's been gone compared to how long Crash was gone, like there's actually a massive difference. Crash was gone for like 6 years, whereas Spyro was only gone for a few years less. Like I said, Skylanders brought Spyro back, but not in the exact way as intended, but now we're actually getting Spyro back. And by the way, another thing about all these teasers that have been going on, like, they were giving very significant hints about, you know, the AAA Remastered Trilogy actually becoming a thing. But of course, back then they were just teasers, and they were also just leaks, so they could have meant anything. Anybody could have believed whether they were real or fake, so at that time I partially couldn't be told. And the reason why is because from past experience we all know that anyone can just, you know, whip something up. It could even take a group of people to whip something up so amazing, like with such impressive design work, just to create a little hoax to troll the fan base.
Yeah, we already had Rayman hoax in Smash.
Damn it, OCG!
Exactly. Anyways, let me carry on. But yeah, anyways, also, yeah, anyone can just make hoaxes like that, and yeah, there have been past experiences of hoaxes happening, like Rayman, like Andresia has just mentioned. And as I kept on saying to people, wait until either E3 2018 or just any time when we get an actual official announcement from, you know, the companies themselves, whether it's Activision, the publishers, or whoever the developers are going to be, because back then we did not know who the developers were going to be at the time. But now we know that the developers for Spyro Reignited Trilogy are Toys for Bob, and not Vicarious Visions as some people were predicting. And yeah, I predicted that Spyro Reignited Trilogy was not going to be developed by Vicarious Visions for a very obvious reason. Vicarious Visions had literally no experience whatsoever with Spyro the Dragon apart from crossovers of Crash Bandicoot.
That's a good
Yeah, for those of you who think that's wrong, I dare you to name one game that Vicarious Visions have made that only involves Spyro with no Crash Bandicoot strings attached. I fucking dare you.
I mean, regarding the images and the whether what's fake or not, when I saw those leaked, I know people hate leaks because it ruins the surprise. For me personally, I didn't care because I knew just looking at those images, like, there's no fucking way that's fake. That can't be fucking fake. Like, there was way too much, like, complexity and like, if that was fake, like, that was a damn good fucking fake. Like, I mean, April Fool's Day is fucking over, guys. It wasn't not over. It was over not so long ago. Like,
that's exactly what I was fucking talking about when I saw that design work. You see my tweet? I was like, very impressive design work.
Yeah.
But that still doesn't cut it.
Yeah. So, yeah.
I'm not gonna believe you until I get official confirmation, and now that we have a trailer, everyone has every right to believe that we are getting a AAA remastered trilogy of Spyro the Dragon.
Yeah, did you actually want to, like, transition into your thoughts on the trailer, guys?
Yeah, I asked, like, should I say first, or does anyone want to say first about the trailer in general?
Since you're the host of the channel, you can go first.
Alright. Well, one thing I've noticed in the trailer when watching it is that graphics itself, like the style, apart from a Spyro model being different because it's being worked by Toys for Bob, I kinda get a little bit of Skylanders vibe in graphics, how the models look. Like, I definitely get, and I'm not saying that as a bad thing, of course, because I think graphic-wise, except for PC version of Skylanders 1, I think graphic-wise Skylanders is a really nice, cartoony-looking game, so it would, of course, fit a game which is a Spyro game, just without Skylanders. Of course it could fit, so this being Toys for Bob, I'm not surprised by such style, and I don't know, I personally like it very much. It even reminds me a bit, I don't know if you guys played Project Spark on Xbox One and PC. Like the graphics, how they were there, I can compare it as well, and it's really great. The only a bit downside I have is like maybe a lightning effects in some ways are not perfect, like judging from the screenshots, but I assume that will be changed and improved upon when the game is of course released, because we are still having some months to wait until the game is released, so there's obviously a lot of time for improvement. One thing I also noticed was the music. It didn't sound like classic Spyro 1, for example. Like, I don't know, maybe it's some track that's not memorable, but can somebody tell me the trailer music, was it used in classic Spyro games like that? Because
wasn't it like there was only one song in it, and it wasn't like I forget like if it was actually a track on the original one or it was just something brand new, but
I think it was brand new.
What do you mean the trailer for the original Spyro?
Yeah.
Or are you talking about the remaster?
Well,
I think I remember the promo trailer and it used like the main theme. That's what I remember.
Yeah, it used the main theme.
I know because I have a PS1 demo disc with it.
Alright.
Which also featured the Crash Bandicoot 3 Warped promo trailer.
So the song used in a trailer, it looks like a brand new, because I don't remember it ever being used in any Spyro trailer for the official PlayStation 1 release. So I don't know, I'm a bit curious how is the soundtrack gonna be done, who's gonna work on the soundtrack, because my biggest complaint for Insane Trilogy, I didn't play the game yet because I'm getting it on PC when it comes out, so I didn't play it, but from what I can tell, something that I don't need to play to complain, it's music, and I'm really not a big fan of Insane Trilogy soundtrack.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of worried, what are they gonna do with Spyro, who is gonna compose, because, okay, the Crash soundtrack was composed by Vicarious Vision themselves, but Spyro is being developed by Toys for Bob, so I kinda am hoping that they're going to put better effort into remastering a soundtrack. I actually wouldn't mind if they just used original soundtrack from the PlayStation 1 versions, just make a pre-console version, like we know, you know on the internet how for Crash Bandicoot games there are pre-console versions.
Oh yeah.
I would be much more happier if...
pre-console versions.
Yeah, they are the best.
They sound sick.
So that, and the way how I seen the Spyro, how it charges on the trailer, it looks like it's gonna be nice for controlling. That's at least the visual effect. I really wish we could play like a demo, even if it's like a toy box area, something like Yooka-Laylee had during development. Instead, imagine how awesome it would be if you use Konami code in Crash Insane Trilogy, and instead of Spyro trailer, you actually get to control Spyro in one area, so you can experience the controls yourself. I think it would be great.
That's exactly what I was thinking. And you know what I was thinking, an extension of that, we could potentially get an actual Spyro Reignited Trilogy demo within Insane Trilogy, within that code, and not only do we get to play a playable demo, but after the players complete the demo, it then showcases the trailer, and that could potentially happen in like an update for Insane Trilogy.
Oh, I hope it does.
As cool as that would be,
that would be really sick.
As cool as that would be, I don't know if they could actually, like, they could do that with the PS1, because obviously the PS1 is a much weaker console, and they have I think they could fit that, but I don't know if they could actually fit, like, a game with a completely different engine. I think we were talking about this on the stream last night, COOLPRO, I don't know if you remember.
Yeah,
but
yeah, I think we were. It's a completely different engine. You know, Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy was using the Toys for Bob Alchemy engine powered by Havoc. Spyro Reignited Trilogy is using the Unreal Engine, which I gotta say actually makes everything look impressive, but as for the trailer, we didn't see any, you know, actual gameplay footage, as in like as it would be within the game. Pretty much all we got was CGI, but it's still, for what it was worth, it looked amazing. I mean, all the visual effects and the reimagined music. Oh yeah, by the way, we know it's been confirmed that the soundtrack will not be remastered by what's his name, Stuart Copeland. Just like how Josh Mansell was unable to remaster the soundtrack for Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, which actually would have been sick, you know. It would have been sick. I gotta say, I partially agree with you, OCG, on the Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy soundtrack. I mean, some of them, they do not fit well, but I gotta say, it's still impressive work for at least, you know, covers that are at least trying to hit, you know, the originals, trying to hit the authenticity that the originals had, even though some of them are quite stripped, which sort of takes some elements away. But it's also interesting how they added layers on top of the tracks as well as reusing parts of the original soundtrack, so I guess I can also give them credit for that. I suppose that's still a good job regardless. I mean, I can't 100% discredit them on that.
Yeah, I guess they tried. So we need to at least say that the effort was definitely made. It's just my personal preference. I don't like it, but they definitely tried and they put some effort. They didn't like just half-assed something in it. So, yeah.
Exactly. My point exactly.
I don't think it's going to be the same without Stuart Copeland, but as long as they can make it good, I don't really have any issue with it. But I'm more concerned in the gameplay department, because the Insane Trilogy, as we know, had a lot of shortcomings. There was like the, what was it, the pill-shaped hitboxes or whatever, and for Crash 1, that was a fucking problem. When most of the...
that was a massive fucking piss take.
Yeah. Which, I guess in Spyro, if they did fuck up the hitboxes, it wouldn't be as big of a deal, because the enemies aren't really based on precision, but still, like, I think, like, that was one thing that sort of turned me off from Crash 1 and the Insane Trilogy. And, you know, I was actually playing the Insane Trilogy with a buddy of mine yesterday, because we both love Crash, and I couldn't help but look at it and just think, you know, I like this game, but I can't deny the fact I really do wish there wasn't this many shortcomings. It's not just the hitboxes, but... So,
yeah, that's the thing, like, I'm sorry to cut you off short
it's fine.
but yeah, that's the thing about AAA remasters and what people tend to get confused. Especially with, like, how they tend to appraise the franchise. It's like, you know, you love the franchise so much, and it's a game that you really enjoy playing, but regardless of that, you can't pretend that there's nothing wrong with it. Of course, you gotta acknowledge the faults that are present, and if they're that obvious, obviously there's no trying to cover that up. Plus, like, as I keep on stating to people, due to this whole nostalgia problem that people are having, who only remember the good things, the thing is, that's the problem. They only remember the good things. They don't remember, like, how hard the game initially was. So basically, the level design was obviously designed around challenge. So the whole point of AAA remastering a game, or even a trilogy for that matter, is to recreate the original experience, not sugarcoat it. As proved by this motherfucker's AAA remastered trilogy right here.
Yeah.
I'm just hoping in the control department, there's like two things I'm concerned about. Keep it the same, but also improve upon those things that might have been flawed in the original. Whatever you do, just don't make it worse. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well,
like,
if it broke, if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Which I'm not saying Spyro's controls are flawless. That's not what I'm fucking saying. I'm just saying that if there's something, like, either keep it the same or make it better. Don't do the last one, which is making it worse.
Yeah.
That's all I
really hope for the swimming it will be perfect, because Spyro 2 had amazing swimming mechanics, and I just hope...
Oh, yeah!
I just hope they're gonna make a swimming so good, because, like...
Oh, yeah.
Spyro 2 probably has the best swimming mechanics in any game ever made. The one thing that is biggest difference is on the release date on which platforms it will be. Crash was PS4 only. However, surprisingly, Spyro was announced to be coming at the same time for Xbox One as well. Which, there are two theories behind it. I think one theory is that the only reason why it happens is because Microsoft this time noticed and approached Activision and said, look, I will pay you a lot of money to release the game at the same time as the PS4 version. Because for Crash, they probably didn't even know back then that the Xbox One version will be announced later on, so they didn't do anything. But now they knew that if the Crash is getting Xbox One version, they knew that Spyro will be getting Xbox One, so they approached Activision on time, paid a lot of cash in order for game to be not only on PS4 timed exclusive, but also Xbox One. And that's how it happened. There was actually, for a brief moment, a pre-order page on a Nintendo website, which pointed out that the game was gonna come maybe on Nintendo Switch, but it has been removed. So my theory is that Microsoft originally Spyro was probably supposed to be PlayStation 4 timed exclusive, just like Crash. However, Microsoft probably paid a lot of money to Activision to release Xbox One version at the same time in order to crush the competition. So Nintendo Switch version and hopefully PC version will be done later next year, or maybe even sooner. I hope I don't have to wait 2019 for it. I contacted actually Iron Galaxy for confirmation. Will they be doing port of Spyro after done with Insane Trilogy? I don't expect them to respond to the email, because such confirmations are never said to individual person in email, but at least with my way I raise the awareness that people are interested in PC version as well, and I'm having high hopes that the game will be announced for PC.
I mean, you know, I think a fucking PC version's gonna happen. Like, I really do. I think it's just not happening now. Like, I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm kind of fucking surprised to see it's also coming on Xbox One, that this isn't a timed exclusive technically. But, you know, and when it comes to PC releases, you know, usually, regardless of what game it is, it's usually much later down the line, because I guess with PC gaming, you really gotta get it right, because, you know, all the specifications and shit. And now that raises the question of the Nintendo Switch. And so I was one of the people who was saying Insane Trilogy isn't gonna fucking come to Switch, and I was wrong. It came to Switch. Well, it's coming to Switch, and you know, I think that's awesome. And so with Spyro, I think it'll come to Switch maybe at some time down, but I think they're gonna have to like downgrade the graphics the same way they did the Insane Trilogy.
The only way they're gonna make it work, to be honest, you know, to fit it into a little cartridge.
Yeah, the Spyro games are much larger.
Overall thoughts is, like, I'm super stoked to see this happen, and definitely gonna be grabbing it day one, like, as a big Spyro fan. I feel like we really need to quickly bring this up, though, is Spyro's model. I fucking love his model, and it's not just because, like,
yeah, same here.
It looks like, the thing is with Spyro, okay, say what you want about the Skylanders model. If you like it, you like it. I don't give a fuck. But Spyro is always, like, his PSO model, I like it better, for me personally, because it's always, like, a little more cute. And, like, I think, like, you could probably just bring up an image of it, OCG, but, you know, that picture of Spyro crouched down in the remaster.
Oh, yes.
It's just, it looks fucking adorable. It's like, what, like, the thing I never really liked about the Skylanders' design is just, it just always looks so, like, just menacing and angry. It looks like it's from a Gremlins movie or something, and that was just, like, never really, like, I mean, if you like that, that's cool, but I just personally liked Spyro's classic design better, because it just looked more friendly, more welcoming, I guess. And so I really like his model in this game, and if you guys could just quickly weigh in on the model, and then I'll try to wrap everything up if you want to do that.
Well,
yeah, the model looks amazing. Just when you thought Spyro could never look any sicker, you know, the fact that it actually shines. Spyro's model is shining like a fucking gem. Like, it's
Well,
that
he collects
good.
gems.
Like, see some sort of... Yeah, that's basically the point I'm getting at. He collects gems, and now he looks like a gem. Probably the best gem in the game, you never know.
Oh yeah! They
Looking precious.
they definitely were trying to... It's a very good, like, comparison. Oh, he shines like a gem and he collects gems. So yeah, Spyro is the best gem in the entire game. And I'm really happy. Like, when I seen the model, like the leaked Amazon Mexico screenshots, it was... I knew it was real, and I knew that that was the best model of Spyro I ever seen.
And the fact that the game is... So I guess this is going to try to be my final thoughts, but I guess the fact that the game, much like the Insane Trilogy, is $40. Yes, they're PS1 era games. Yes, they're short. But the fact that they're $40 for 3, like, fully... The thing is about Spyro, I've always been more of a classic Spyro person than I have classic Crash. The reason for that is because Spyro never used recycled levels. Every level in Spyro was original, 100%, and it was open, too. And it was on the fucking PlayStation, which wasn't known for open, like, that open of 3D games. So the fact that they're remaking all 3 of those, I think, is fucking awesome, and...
Yeah, you know, Spyro was a big innovation for its time, in that sense.
So I'm really curious, like, how they're going to go about that. We've only seen Spyro 1, of course, much like the Insane Trilogy. They're just revealing a little bit at a time.
Yeah,
but,
that's one thing I just remembered that I wish I mentioned about the trailer as well, but you know, yeah, they used Crash 1. I mean, yeah, they used Spyro 1, like they did with the Insane Trilogy trailer, with the comeback trailer where they only showed Crash 1. Yeah. But this time, it was more like... from a marketing standpoint.
Yeah, they gotta tease.
Oh, yeah,
they gotta tease bit by bit, first showing the first game, and later they'll show the second and third, and they'll do each level reveal a bit, just like how they did for Crash. I imagine the same will be for Spyro in the upcoming months.
Yeah, they're not gonna give it all away in one go on the first trailer.
Overall, my just general thoughts is, like, I'm really excited. I think it's great Spyro's coming back, and, you know, as cool as these remasters are, I really hope it leads to some new games that I don't want to see them keep doing the same thing, but I'd like to see them look at the classic formula, maybe kind of do what, like, you know, Nintendo does with some of their franchises, just think, you know, how can we, like, improve on this or make it better. That's kind of what I hope out of the Insane and Reignited trilogies, is that they just look at what the classic formula did right, but also bring something new. Don't do the exact same thing, because that's when it becomes an issue. But yeah.
Yeah, that's the entire point of a AAA remaster,
yeah,
like
exactly.
I mentioned earlier. Now, based on some previous things that we mentioned, yeah, I'm excited that Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy is becoming multi-platform, and the fact that Spyro Reignited Trilogy is initially being released on the PS4 and the Xbox One, instead of just being a timed exclusive for the PS4. Like, it wasn't really much of a genuine surprise, because you know how Microsoft are with money. Like, of course they're gonna do some sort of tactic to approach, like, Vicarious Visions, or, no, not Vicarious Visions, Activision, to, like, make some sort of contract, and then later on, obviously, if it's gonna be on Xbox One, it should be bound to come on PC without a doubt, and of course it's gonna perform best on the PC, especially with the Unreal Engine. That's a much better engine than the Alchemy engine, to say the least.
I definitely agree there. So.
And I'm actually really excited. I actually plan to have all versions of both Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy and Spyro Reignited Trilogy. And for that, and as Andrija has just said, we will be following up with whatever news comes along closely, whether it's like official announcements or leaks or press conferences, whether it's like E3 2018. We're bound to get something at E3 2018 anyway.
We'll get a playable demo for sure.
Yeah, well, I hope so, because we didn't get one for Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, so I hope we get one for Spyro as well. Although, interestingly enough, if we do get a playable demo for Spyro Reignited Trilogy within Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, I figured that Spyro Reignited Trilogy could also have like a callback reference to Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy where you enter the code. Like either one of the codes from either of the 3 games that you can play that enables you to play like a demo of Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy, whether it's like, I think they would probably use the PAX East 2017 build of Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy if they were to use a demo, since that is like the closest beta build that's closest to the final version of the product. So that's, but then as Brandon just said, as RAYFIST'S said, like we don't know how that will 100% work because obviously they use 2 different engines. Crash Bandicoot Insane Trilogy uses Alchemy while Spyro Reignited Trilogy uses Unreal Engine.
Well, that was pretty much it. I hope you all enjoyed our thoughts video, and see you all some other time when we get more news. Do widzenia!
Bye.
Laters everyone, peace out.
Fucked up claw.
Ciao!
Alright, later.
Laters everyone, peace out.